Secretly, the real name of this stream is Whack Ass Copyright Free Music Stream. Oh, I am not trying to. I love copyright free music. It's always such a relief when the game works the way it's supposed to. Oh. And then when the stream catches up and it works the way it's supposed to, a beautiful thing. What's up, guys? We're back on 2B2T. I'm on YouTube as well now. And I am not going to blow off the YouTube people. I think the YouTube people are fantastic. I didn't have the chat pulled up last time. People were chatting in YouTube and they're like, this guy's a dick, he's not responding to us. And I'm like, well, some of that might be true. Portions of that might be true. But I am not deliberately trying to ignore you. A special place in hell, a very special place in hell for the all the people that leave junk on the highways. Special shout out to you guys. I hate you with all of my freaking soul and fiber of my being. You guys are the worst. Just the worst. You've made a very long trip that I'm making to the world border agonizing. Look at this. Swear to God. Sure, I got all my stuff set up real quick. Yeah, I know. I know I need a shovel. In my head, I'm thinking, well, if it's just a tiny bit of stuff, I shouldn't need a shovel, right? I'll just bust through it real quick. Easy peasy. But then, like, the longer I go and the more dirt that shows up, the dumber I feel about not busting out a shovel in the first place. It's like one of those sunken cost kind of situations. The longer I go without a shovel, the dumber it is for me to continue to go without a shovel. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna take a boat. So I'm sure you guys can piece together now that I have gotten a stern talking to by the powers that be about my use of copyrighted materials. Generally speaking, people over at Twitch and YouTube are not big fans of me playing my music, so in order to not get deplatformed, we're back to whatever this stuff is. Royalty-free music. I tried looking up royalty-free such and such, and It's not royalty free. I got flagged for like stuff that was no name, whatever music I'd never even heard of before. I still got flagged for it. I'm like, well, if you're gonna flag me for this garbage, I might as well play my music. And then I played my music, and then it was bad. I got my first hard strike over on YouTube, so gotta be careful. Definitely don't want to get my YouTube channel flagged, because I got a lot of like fun crap planned for YouTube. So I finished getting my editing stuff put together. Getting a strike on YouTube is bad, but like, or on Twitch is bad, but like getting a strike on any of the other ones is like YouTube. That's the one that I don't want to, you know, get rid of. I happen to like YouTube. And they're way, way more strict over at YouTube. Like, big time. Super, super strict. Right, so I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. I was gonna stream yesterday, but some stuff came up. Story of my life, right? But I'm sure that's not just me. Happens to the best of us, right? Elytra fly? Nah, we don't need that. There we go. We had a pretty big surge over the weekend of players. I think on Friday and Saturday the count got all the way up to like I think like excuse me, I think like 1,300 or something. Pretty big numbers. Pretty big 2B numbers. Especially since a few weeks ago, even, I think. Maybe a few months ago or so, those numbers were way down. Like a couple hundred, I think. At one point, there was like 300 people online or something. I haven't been playing on 2B for long enough, but from what I have heard, during like the early COVID era and like the latter part of the Russia invasion, Russia war, incursion, whatever you want to call it, that even if you had priority queue, you had to wait in like a whole separate queue. CBL was here. Like a bonus queue. Okay, bro, I heard you liked waiting around. Since you're clearly a fan of waiting around, let's wait around for just a little bit longer. Wait while you're waiting, right? It's the old exhibit meme. Yo, dog, I heard you liked waiting, right? Yo, dog, I heard you liked waiting. So I made a queue outside of the queue so you can wait while you're waiting. This meme brought to you by Just for Men. If you get the meme, chances are you need Just for Men. I think I got a... You know what? I actually got a copyright strike. Or not a strike. I didn't get a full-on strike. I got a copyright warning for the monk chants. I did nothing but monk chanting for like the last 3 hours of that stream, and I still got a copyright strike for the monk chants. Who's gonna copyright monk chants? I don't know. Dark times, my friends. Dark, dark times. I'm honestly just trying to also piece together what days work better. I'd like to have a more consistent schedule. I think Monday, Thursday's been working pretty good, but then, you know, life gets in the way every now and then. So instead of skipping a whole day, instead I will delay it by a day, right? But then if I wait till Tuesday, I don't want to just do Thursday, because then that's just, you know, 2 days apart. So I'll switch around to Tuesday, Friday, but, you know, then I'm, instead of switching 1 day, I'm switching 2 days. It's a whole thing. Growth stock trend follower is grateful. I'm glad. Thank you. You can't imagine how grateful I am. Do you guys even need my help anymore? Outrageous. I'm gonna retire. No, I'm not gonna retire. I'm having too much fun. I don't care if you don't need any food. You're gonna get it whether you like it or not. Oh my God. Maybe I'm just not used to it. I don't know. It's so bad. That's alright. We got the volume way down now. I think. No. That build has been partially wrecked for a while. Some of these things I don't even know what is going on. Giant hunk of cobblestone over here. Sometimes when I see things like that, I wonder if people just grab like 4 or 5 stacks of blocks and just chunk them down wherever they want to, so they're all over the place. There we go. That's better. Gotta get the stuff distributed. I gotta try to go quick with it, and then I can go back to rambling. It was nice, by the way, last week to be able to take a look at some of the further out spots on the canal. Not too often we get to see that far out, you know, with a gang. So it's pretty cool stuff. Most of the builds out there are grief, but the ones that are still up, I'm always amazed. Ooh. I had auto log on. Been a while since you've logged me, Loco. Brings back memories, right? Trying to log trap me. Yeah. Nice try. Nah, I think that if it was Mr. Loco's plan to murder me, it probably would have happened. Oh. I think that everybody got their fill of canal stuff over the weekend. Got it all out of their system. And maybe a little bit into Monday. Now everybody's canaled out. So now we got the whole place to ourselves. It's nice. And, you know, stretch my legs out. Hop on a boat. Crack a cold Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream. Got to get that sponsorship money, guys. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream. Because they're not quite as evil as Coke and Pepsi are. At least not yet. And I can tell you this much. Without getting overly weird and like preachy and political and crap, I will say that if you are working to try to support the general ethics of different companies and what they stand for, it gets so hard to just exist. I swear to God. Then you start looking into the stuff that companies do, and you're try to, you know, pick and choose which companies are like less evil than others. Man, you're just gonna have a bad time altogether. Like, I hear that Coke does some horrible stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to get into specifics, but they did some pretty shitty stuff a couple of weeks ago with their workers. So I'm like, okay, I won't buy Coke. But then wait a minute. Just a little bit after that, all of a sudden, you know, Prisoner Idiot was here. Hi, Prisoner Idiot. Just a little bit after that, Pepsi does something equally stupid. So I'm like, okay. So now I can't drink Coke products and I can't drink Pepsi products. I'm over in that shitty section in the grocery store right towards the middle of the soda aisle where they got like RC Cola and stuff. I'm like, yo, man, let me get some of that RC and 7-Up. Impossible to win. Whoa, 20 stream streak. Holy shit. Go get it, Cooks. We love cooks around here. If you're a new streamer and you get a friend like Cooks around, you never have to worry about, streaming to an empty room. He'll be lurking. He may not be in the chat, but he's lurking. Cooks is on my short list of new moderators for my Twitch chat stuff here. Just because I've got a lot of bots and a lot of Slim Shadies over in the group. Oh, sick. Literally. Get a sick day. What skin are you using on Fortnite? And what do they have? Dances? What dance thing does your dude have? That's alright, Took. You got a 15 streak in my heart. That's what's important. Oh, come on. Yo, my goodness, it's Ninja Walrus. Oh. I thought it was like one of those floating item frame situations. Don't do that, I just shoot. I gotcha. Ninja Walrus, how have you been, dude? I feel like I haven't seen you around in a while. I know that you popped in a couple streams ago and just said what's up, so I do acknowledge that part of it. But I haven't seen your stream announcements or anything. Oh. Hold on. I am moving this sign. I don't break signs, but occasionally I have to move them. Although I'm pretty sure that some of my signs have been broken over here. But I'm not going to complain about it. Busy. First map art. Yeah, that's right. I saw that. Ninja Walrus has a very awesome Discord server. You get to see like pictures of the history of different stuff on Spawn, or near Spawn on 2B. Spawn and beyond, I guess I'll say. The Gapple map art. Well, if you make it, I should say once you make it, I will grab some copies of it and I will put them up in these booths here. Got some people all at once here too, so juggling the best that I can. Took, what have you been up to? Sorting stuff? Sorting the stash? Yeah, okay. That looks about right. Hmm? Oh, okay, I gotcha. Here, I'll move this. Ooh, so bright. I'll stick these out here. Luigi map art by Mr. Loco. Someone was talking about it earlier today. I think it was Tosca. 75 shulkers, jeez, Took. I got a lot of junk I gotta sort out too. I'm never gonna do it. I'm just gonna complain about having to do it until somebody eventually, you know, wrecks my stash. Ninja Walrus, I would love to have you on one of these runs. I gotta go through my screenshots too. I take so many screen caps on these strips, and then like I just forget about it because by the time I'm done, I'm all worn out. Hello, son. Have you been behaving yourself? Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know a tiny bit about how to about some of the history of different things, but generally speaking, I kind of know maybe 10% at the most. Whereas I'm sure that Ninja Walrus knows like 90%. Hey, it's Keskin. What's up, Keskin? I was supposed to meet up with Keskin and some of the rabble rousers over in the Loot Lords group on the canal, but I think we live in very different time zones because when they went live, I was like still working. By the time I was ready to rock and roll, I even got off a little early, and by the time I was ready to go, they were done. They'd been done for hours. Noxious, what's up, dude? Hold on. Mod mode, activate. Banhammer. Been keeping busy. Noxious. Keeping busy in chat, man. You're like a chat warrior. Always good to have some new clever and creative people in chat. That's just sad. Guess at least it's still here, kinda. Chat friending used to be an art form, and more you don't, or I should say less and less you see it like in an action. Just people with like low tier bait and like nonsense. A bunch of Zoomers making cat noises in the chat at each other. I'm like, come on, guys. Not so much that I mind that kind of stuff, whatever, do your own thing, but like, do something creative, you know? Entertain me. This is, from what I have heard, the 87 AC Dindu muffin stand. Very clever. Cap decided to do the stream a bit earlier when I planned. I went to sleep for you. Oh, yeah, it happens. Iowa, my goodness. One of my favorite guys. How you doing, Iowa? Doing okay, man. About as good as anyone can do on a Tuesday listening to this awful copyright-free music. I guess like, is that a Keskin banner? No. Is that Loot? It's a Loot Lords banner, I think. I'll just ask Ninja Walrus when I see a banner. He'll be able to identify it. Oh, I forgot to look at it. Yeah, Loot Lords, that's what I thought. I don't know them all. I know like a handful of them. Oh, that's the main post. Very unfortunate. Still some slime left over. Generally speaking, it's seen better days, but honestly not terrible. I assume if the time ever comes where the trading post is fully abandoned, that's kind of how it's going to look, like in the long run. Using the K button to toggle shaders. Yes! I learned that from Ninja Walrus. I never knew about the toggle shader button, so I was like putting my controller down and going to the menu and pressing all the other buttons and this whole fiasco. It was it sucked. I would just hit K like a pro. I feel like a pro gamer. Noxious. Bitfar will be there in a while. I will hopefully be here. That's how I felt the other day. Everybody was hanging out over at the thing. I'm like, I got 2 Prio accounts and both of them are like millions of blocks away. I felt like a big timer for a bit. Tired went at 2 a.m. for work the past 2 days. Getting back on regular sleep schedule. Have to stay up. Oh, right. You gotta roll into the rest of the day's zombie mode. Resetting sleep schedule is one of those difficult but necessary steps in life. You get all backwards. Both of my kids do that crap when they're not in school. I sleep in a bit and I wake up at like 9 on the weekend. And they're already up and I'm like, oh, hey, you guys are getting up early. That's good to see. They're like, no, we're still up from last night. We were playing Roblox all night. Roblox. And I'm like, oh, there's like different levels. Is that kind of like Little Big Planet or something? They're like, oh my god, you're so old. And they're not wrong. Oh my god, will you guys fuck off, please? Please, will you fuck off? Just for a moment, please fuck off. Here we go. More junk. Gotta put some map arts up. By the way, if anybody has any 1x1 map arts that aren't lewd or weird or anything, I don't mind adding them to my rotation. I am a little picky. Not very picky, but a little picky. There, looks good. There we go. Much better. Okay. Thanks for coming in, Ninja Walrus. Appreciate you, man. A lot of people on 1 to 2 hours ago. Yeah. Nice. I snuck in at just the right time. Yeah, the reverse cycling thing you're talking about, Noxious? Yeah, it happens. Hey, there's Noxious. Speak of the devil. Coming along? No? Okay. Another boat up here. Help yourself. Prime resource of energy. Cocaine, right? That's my prime resource for energy. You think I make cocaine money? Psh. I barely make Big Lots energy drink money, baby. Yeah, stacks on stacks. You know me. Speaking of prime energy source, did you know that you can subscribe to your favorite Twitch streamer through your Amazon Prime blah blah blah? There's a pop-up. You guys that are doing the Twitch stuff as well, I'm sure you've seen it before, that's like, make sure to remind your viewers that if they have a Prime subscription, that they have a free subscription to give out to the streamer of their choice. I'm torn. I'm like, yeah, that's, you know, not a bad idea. Sometimes people legitimately forget, but I don't want to sound like I'm shilling in the channel. That's also kind of not cool. So then they say, just critique it in the channel and make it seem like it's something that you kind of are not a fan of, but at the same time, you're still mentioning it to the people. Like subliminal advertising, astroturfing kind of stuff. No, they don't say that. They do ask you to say that, though. They're like, by the way, different revenue stream, blah, blah, blah. They want you to, they ask about pre-rolling ads. I'm not exactly sure what they mean. I think it means like, I think pre-rolling ads means like people show up and then they're hanging out for a bit and then like you add ads to the stream like later on. I don't exactly know what they mean when they say that, but if you guys are getting ads on the stream besides the first one that pops up, you shouldn't be getting them. I don't have ads on here. I deliberately have it disabled. Ads are annoying. Oh, you're flying? Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. I'm used to it by now. Go team! Yeah. At the same time, I'm not trying to trash on you if you do run ads on your stream. I get it, you know. When I was initially exploring options for streaming and everything else, and one of the things talked about ads and like the ad share revenue stuff, it's like such garbage. You make like a fraction of a cent per viewer or something like that. So like if you run ads on your stream and annoy everybody with constant ads on your stream, in the end I think you're making like an extra 50 cents or something like that. Even with like a crowded channel, you're making like an extra buck or two. It's like, that can't possibly be worth it. Now if you have huge numbers, you know, like, you know, you're averaging somewhere in like the high hundreds or low thousands or whatever for viewers, then I guess you could probably make a case for it. Because they press the little ad button and they're making like a couple $100. So like, okay, you know, we cross that bridge when we get there. Step one, average 1,000 viewers. Okay. Once we get there, we're going to move on to step two. That's when shit's going to get crazy, y'all. Ads all over the place. Hello. Greetings. Hey. Hi. What are you, my thesaurus? Somebody badly needed a chest. I assume that you must have needed this chest more than I did, so I get it. Happens to the best of us. So I lived on the east coast of the United States for most of my life. And it wasn't until I moved to the west coast of the United States that I began to realize that, like, all time and events are all based off of Eastern Standard Time, right? EST, which is GMT minus 5, I think. So the and when I say things, I mean, like, you know, events, like any kind of live events that you would see on TV is a good example, right? Football games start at 1 p.m. on the East Coast. When you're on the West Coast, they start at 10 a.m. So you want to start pre-gaming and stuff with the boys before you're watching a football game. You got to get started at like 8:30 in the morning. It's like an alcoholic's dream. Roll out of bed, crack a beer. I got to get ready. Game's starting at 10 a.m. Then, every now and then, they will have a game set in London. And for the London games, those start at 9 a.m. Eastern, which means kickoff over here on the West Coast, 6 a.m. Nice dragon head. There you go. Now you're ready. Oh, hey, whoa, hold on. You're forgetting your box. Don't forget your box. Leaving the dragon heads? Okay. Understandable. Imagine trying to pregame for 6 a.m. kickoff, baby. Don't even get me started on New Year's. You guys have, you know, wherever you are, have the New Year's Eve countdown thing, right? Well, the East Coast of the United States is the first part of the U.S., and I'll throw Canada in there too, that gets the countdown, right? Because it takes place in New York, so they have the big ball drop, and everybody starts going crazy for the New Year's thing, right? There's a big loud countdown, and everybody's celebrating and hugging and kissing in the streets. They're singing Auld Lang Syne, and Mariah Carey is performing, or, you know, some other equally mainstream, safe music act. Over here on the West Coast, we're like, man, it's 9. What the hell? And most people don't bother sticking around to see the broadcast afterwards, but they do the countdown, and I'm talking about the main network TV one, New Year's Rockin' Eve or whatever. They do the countdown for, you know, Central, Mountain, and Pacific, but it is so pathetic. like it's the most half-assed, like, you know, there'll be a band performing or something like that, and they'll cut back to the host. They'll be like, actually, yeah, it's getting pretty close to New Year's in Mountain Time. 3, 2, 1. Yep, Happy New Year's Mountain Time. Anyways, back to what we were doing before. It's like, all right, you know, really, you're not being very helpful. We're all just working with what we got, and we're trying the best that we can. And you give us like the most half-assed thrown together thing. Noxious is on autopilot. So if you live in a country that spans more than one time zone, chances are you've also had to deal with this. Also, there are a number of regional differences and small things that if you live in one place your whole life, you never actually notice until you've been elsewhere. Where? Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. I spent most of my life in New Hampshire, which is a teeny tiny state in the northeast of the United States. I spent probably 25 years of my life in New Hampshire, something like that. And then another big chunk of my life I spent in Florida. Probably another 7 or 8 years in Florida. And then the rest was split between Michigan, Austin, Texas, which I absolutely love Austin, Texas. It's like my favorite place in the world. And Oregon. I can tell you that every place that you live has got, you know, pros and cons. There's never like, it's never all good and it's never all bad. It's always like a mix of the two. Beardo. This is a fantastic stream you had last night, my dude. Beardo found his first base of 2025, which is not a fair assessment because he skipped like the first 10 weeks of 2025.
Skill issues.
Yeah, that is me constantly. Story of my life. Thanks for that, Kush. How you doing? That's pretty funny, yeah. That wasn't a skill issue. Nah, Beardo is a good hunter. And Beardo listens to the kind of music that sounds like he's literally playing one of my playlists, so I think that I knew and have hearted every single song that I heard on the Beardo stream. Fantastic stuff. We are on the canal as per usual. Now, I filled up the majority of these chests. I filled them all up on Friday. And then before I stopped, I went back over and I refilled them because somebody had gone back and wrecked some of them. Come on, really? Come on, man. Life without a controller, man. My mouse is acting all fucky. Just... there we go. Just staying focused while I get this done. Oh my god. There we go. There we go. There we go. I've never actually found anything along the canal on these streams. I mean, like, people drop things for me a lot. Like, somebody will run up while I'm over here and they'll just drop like a bunch of kits, like armor and stuff, and I'm like, I feel weird taking it. Like, I'll occasionally take something and give it out like on the next stream. Or if you drop like a bunch of picks or shovels, I'll just donate it to the canal workers. Absolutely. But it's gotten so bad to where OG Kush was trying to give me a kit from another one of the trading post guys. I think was Burgess, and I thought he was just showing it to me, so I just left it out there. And then right afterwards in VC, like, hey, did you get that kit? And I'm like, I looked at it. I didn't take it. There should be a universal, like, signal for when you want someone to take your kit, you know? From my experience, if they want you to look inside the shulker, they'll open it up and close it, and then while you're looking at them, they'll open and close it like 5 or 6 times really quick. That usually means I want you to look in here. And then I think maybe open and close it a bunch of times like that, as I want you to look in here. But then if right afterwards you move backwards...
It is known.
It is known, isn't it? Yes. That's what I would say. Putting the shulker down like that. Someone puts a shulker down like that, and then they do this. I don't have my controller, so it's hard. Open and close it a bunch of times. You get what I'm trying to do here. Unsuccessfully. To me, that means, hey, look inside the shulker box. But if they do that, and then they walk backwards like 10 or 15 steps, that to me means I want you to take this shulker box. But even then, I kind of don't feel right doing it. So usually I'll like ask them in chat, hey, is this for me? Somebody built this out too far. You guys like building stuff on the canal? That's actually awesome. I can speak for every single person that's ever done any kind of canal work to tell you that we love it when you guys build along the canal. It's awesome. Some of our favorite stuff, but stay behind the line right here. Don't build anything above, because people use these sidewalks like they would a nether highway. Yeah, you know, you're taking the slow way when you're taking the canal, but at the same time, if you're trying to get across an ocean or get past some really long, you know, kind of dreary expanse, the sidewalk is the way to go. You don't want to block it off. It is not helpful. There we go. There we go. Slow motion today. Probably should have brought more banners. I might have some more. I'll check in just a minute. There we go. Beautiful. Mod mode, activate. So that's part of the problem when you have people in your when you start to get a smallish type following on Twitch, you end up getting botted, which means like mass followed by a whole bunch of random bots. And this has happened to me numerous times. Like, no joke, it's happened to me at least 4 times now. And every time that I get rid of them, it seems like I'm okay for like a couple days, and then I immediately get botted again by almost the same exact number of bots, but like with different names. They're really easy to spot. It's always just like a generic human name with like an underscore before it or an underscore after it. You'll say like, you know, Kimberly Johnson underscore. I used a program. Well, I don't think Beardo knows this, but I used a program that he forwarded to somebody else, and they forwarded to me to to remove all the Slim Shadies. But the problem is that they just come right back every time. So I go in there, I run the program, I sort through, I find the obvious, you know, fake users, and I get rid of them all. I have to do it manually because they're not marked as like malicious users yet. So I manually go through and I get rid of them all, and then like a week later, all of a sudden, you know, hey, your stream got 2,000 new followers. I'm like, wow. Must have been a good stream, 2,000 followers. So I go back in and I delete them all again, and I've gotten to the point now where I am waiting for Twitch to remove them, and it's not working. I mean, it's kind of working. I see some of them get removed here and there because Twitch will eventually flag these accounts and remove them. I don't want to awaken the sleeping giant of Twitch bots. Like heads of the Hydra. I haven't been putting torches out here. There we go. Okay, looks good. Perfect. Ooh. Oh, Eric's back is killing me today. I don't know what that is. You never know. When you get old, stuff just hurts. Here we go. This one's okay. Yeah. Just some casual getting old. Uxam. Uxam is a friend or a foe. Just casually buzzing overhead, no big deal. A very standard and casual encounter, indeed. Hi. Hi, Uxam. I'm gonna assume a friend that likes punching. Never mind. I think I like this song less now. It's been going on a bit too long. Hey, friend. I do not have a spare boat. Ooh. Just a quick check. It's a giant dude. I know, I think it's not the same one. It's not the Atlas one. The Atlas one was made by some of the Spectrum guys a few years ago. Freedom Holland and I want to say XQ. Creeper X 20. Creeper X 200. Nice. Okay. Let's try it with no music. Sorry if you guys are into it. I just couldn't take it anymore. Keskin was here. Prisoner Idiot looks like they're doing a little tour of the canal. They left a book in an item frame for me at one of these stops, and I actually managed to get to it before anybody else did, so I think it's the first time that's ever happened, that somebody's left a book over here and I've actually managed to get my hands on it. We're going to put some torches up. Last banner. Oh, look, that's like a full creeper skin. That's kind of cool. And a wooden sword. I love it. Looks like you're ready to do world edit. You want to drive? Yep, gotta go the other way. Turn around, you're going the wrong way. You gotta go this way. Here we go. Getting abducted, don't mind me. Oh, that was you, Ninja? It's Creeper, a friend of yours, Ninja? I thought that it looked familiar, but I couldn't tell if it was one of those good familiar or bad familiar kind of things. Ninja Sir, the canal legend returns. It's a good day to be on the canal. It's been very chill so far. Besides the skeletons, they're being bitches. There we go. Oh, what the hell? Hate it when that happens. Back when I played on a laptop, it was like torture. It would always do shit like that. It would always move so slow, but like whenever I had to restart, it's like I had to chisel out like 30 minutes of my life for the stupid thing to reboot. And like it was a new-ish type laptop. I don't get it. Ninja Sir's down bad. 1 shift F1. Keyboard shortcuts, am I right? My ultimate goal, and I'm going to have to talk to Iron Exception about this. My ultimate goal is to get the better controller mod working on not just on 1.21 but on Folia and on the strict anti-cheat that 2B utilizes, because The anti-cheat on 2B is ridiculous. So, like, you try to use any kind of alternate movement device, which is a fancy way of saying, like, a, you know, controller as well as a mouse and keyboard, like two different movement inputs. It does not like that at all. It thinks it's like a weird tool-assisted kind of movement hack or something, and it starts cracking down on it and getting all freaked out. I'm gonna check. Yes. As it turns out, I do have more banners. I do have signed books in there. I don't know whose they are, though. Every time Ninja shows up on the canal, he always tosses a couple random books out at me. Like, Sal C1, there's a Fit book, I, Tristan. All those books got duped like crazy back in the day, so I'm not going to whip it out right now, but look at that stack of 5 books in the middle. That's a that's a Sal C1 book that got duped like a bajillion times. This is actually the box that Ninja Sir gave me a few years ago. The gapples in the bottom are the double tag gapples that has the what is it, NBT data. It has 2 sets of the NBT name whatever data on it. A rare item if I've ever had one. I've been playing long enough to where the kind of pedestrian stuff that I have now. Oh, I fell off the boat. I fell off the boat. Oh, Ninja took my spot. It's a good way to tell that it's a spawn sentry alt that's found you near spawn, because they can't go more than 10 seconds without whacking you. When I had Ninja and Aplex and maybe Japari or maybe Drew all at the same time, I had such a headache by the time the stream was over because I just kept hearing people coming up and smacking me. Happens to the best of us. Better not be my car. Jerry is cool 120. Hello. Oh, wait a minute. I know Jerry is cool. Jerry's cool killed me one time at spawn, but to be fair, I think I was asking people to kill me. I was in my villain arc and I pulled out crystals like I knew what I was doing. I'm like, "Arr! I'm gonna show all of you," and then like immediately got wrecked. Popped like 9 totems or something. First time chat though. Thanks for coming out, Jerry. This is the music-free stream. It'll be like you're listening to a podcast or NPR. It's like ASMR, except all you're going to hear is me clearing my throat and my neighbor's car alarm going off. Doesn't get much better than that. That's the kind of quality content that I can offer to you guys bi-weekly. No, but trust me, the silence is better than the royalty-free, non-copyright music that was going on before. Shit was making me insane. How do you do, fellow kids? Cecil was here. Oh, I might have something here for you, Ninja. That's number 3. Who's number 3? LARP. LARP's okay. I assume so. He didn't kill me last week when he had the chance to, so... Moving away from them. Old Southern Canal Association banners. I had like, I think like 10 shulkers of them. No accidental crystals. Whoops, accidentally had my aura on. No big deal. Yeah. When there was like a whole bunch of bad stuff happening with the SCA, I ditched all of my banners, but I kept a stack or two without knowing that I kept a stack or two over with my jungle saplings. And excuse me, it's gotten to the point now to where like it's been long enough to where like I'm kind of okay with the whole, you know, SCA nostalgia stuff. What happened? No. I'm not going to get into any of that. I can say there's nothing that Ninja did, though. For the most part, I never really had any big issues at all with Ninja Sir. Stuff just happens. Nah. I'm not here to throw you under the bus, Ninja. This section over here is like I'm not gonna drop chords or anything, but this is like some of the biggest like missing potential. This whole area is like free real estate. There's like a Voco pinwheel, called the Vortex Coalition, and like a lava cast, and that's like it. Free real estate, baby. Every now and then I move in the wrong direction. That's because I'm terrible with using a mouse and keyboard. Getting better, though. Anyways, what I was saying before, anti-cheat. Ultimately, I'd like to be able to use the better controller mod if I can get it to work on 1.21 with the anti-cheat. And when I say if I can get it to work, what I really mean is if I can get Iron and Firecat to help me make it work. Help me by making it work. How do I word this in saying that, like, I actually don't do any of the work because I'm terrible at that kind of stuff, and I just beg and plead and bribe? No, Iron's always been very cool about it, and Firecat will always, you know, do whatever to help me out because they're just the coolest. And I realize that I am old and incapable. But the really good controller mod that I'm talking about, not only does it have a better turn radius and intermediate direction thing, but it also has macro shortcuts on the controller, so you can hit like L, the left direction on the D-pad, hold it down, and it will give you a whole different series of commands that you can use. So you can program buttons on the hey Miles, first person on YouTube has shown up. Appreciate it, man. But you hold the L button down and you can look at that, a thing of beauty. The Gizas. You get a whole new set of commands, so I can do like controller shortcuts and do like rusher commands and stuff, or the rusher keybinds on the controller. Oh, we're in Wardentown, baby. Not that I'm ever going to be some kind of pro or anything. New trading post location. I think so. I mean, it's probably, I wouldn't go too all out. It's kind of in a dangerous spot. Streamer privilege. The Great Pyramids of Giza. My goodness. No, I think it's more, less streamer privilege and more canal person privilege. Because, like, I can't do a ton of stuff. I don't know a lot of stuff. I don't have a lot of stuff. But I will still, you know, give out basically anything that I have. And the vast majority of my time on the server I've spent on the canal, so maybe just streamer privilege. I'm one of those people that just doesn't get it. Okay, I'll ask Iron. He'll be like, are you helping me because it's streamer privilege? Honestly, I think Iron helps me because Iron Exception really likes challenges. If there's something that is broken, it's like becomes a mission to, you know, find a way to fix it. Let me combine these two. Swipe or no swiping? Get dirt clotted. LOL. Oh, there you go. You can just put that box in there for the new friends. Beautiful. What am I missing? Oh, the canal sign. Damn it, Ninja. It's my last one. I've got, or no, I always mention this every time. I was talking to Japari about this the other day. I'm like, you always get mentioned on like every stream. One reason or another. Old canal history, or in this case, it was Japari that designed that map art. No, I'm not going to pull that out. I'm not going to whip that out. What is it? Use your words. Japari the canal griefer. I'm going to tell him that you said that. Japari's not a canal griefer. He is a... just, I know that you know, Kush, but in case you don't know, no, he's not a griefer. Kush thought he was a griefer because Japari, when he was on the server, visited so many different spots along the canal, and he would put his sign, it says Japari blah blah blah. But right around that time, there's a lot of griefing going on the canal. So Kush's experience is that he goes up the canal, he sees a griefed location, he sees a sign that says Japari was here at all of these griefed spots. So he got to thinking that Japari is this notorious canal griefer that just cruises up and down the canal trying to break stuff whenever possible. Ruin everybody's builds. Big obsidian name signs are only at grief locations, yeah. Maybe he is. Maybe Japari is the secret griefer. I'm going to ask him. We're starting a GoFundMe so we can buy him Prio. Because he's broke. Like the rest of us, am I right, gang? My face won no money. It's okay. We'll just work until we die. Easy peasy. We'll all just work until we die.
It is known.
It is known.
It is. Very much so. Oof. I think I gotta get a new chair. Maybe that's the back problem that I have. Okay. I'm gonna try it again. I've taken enough of a break from it to where maybe I can stomach it for a little longer. Who's number 3? Oh, it's Jerry is cool. It's alright. We don't have to worry about Jerry is cool because he's definitely not going to cause any kind of trouble. He's actually a good friend now. Very friendly player. Got any crafting tables, buddy? Ooh. Thanks, Jerry. You think mushroom lights are cool in 1.19, and then they release frog lights in 1.20, and you're like, yo. Gotta get a few crafting tables, please. It's so bad. Jerry's only spicy on the weekend? Okay. I kind of feel like I'm not getting anywhere with the crafting table thing, guys. It's gonna be cookies until I run out, which is coming soon, and then it's gonna be... Guys are causing a ruckus. Here. Give me just 1 second, guys. I've got a BRB. I'll BRB. Yes, this is mild variety, Jerry. Rikido X was here. Are you online, Rikido? No, of course not. Ritz is on, though. Hunting a base, no doubt. I don't exactly know what's going on with the crafting tables. Get an axe, Mr. Roster. No, I won't. I'm going to put him over on the side. Here we go. Nice and asymmetrical, just how we like it. Jerry, you're gonna be my boat tour guide here. A response center behavior. It is. Silliness. 3-person boats when? That's the atlas I was telling you guys about before. I'm sure you guys have all seen it a bajillion times, but it was built by, like I said, some of the Spectrum fellas. Sometimes when I'm talking to people that are in Spectrum builders, I really feel like a kid, like a first grader, telling his parents all of like the things that they did in school that day. And they're sitting like, uh-huh. Oh, really? Wow. That sounds very complicated. Good job. Just because the kind of shit that Spectrum does is like on so much of a different level than like what us mere mortals do. It's the Kushter. Holy shit, isn't that the guy from the FitMC video? Think he'll sign a shulker for me? I'll pull out an anvil and he can sign a shulker for me. Actually, Imperial Scum. That's what I was saying, Aplex. Something about, oh, wait, hold on. I'm passing the thing. Yeah. Oxum's probably a laptop player, if you ask me. Oh, hey, you brought it. Oh, yes. Who's it by? Cat flushed anglerfish. Let me get that put up real quick. Don't lose it. I posted this over in the Waterway Union Discord and got a few requests for it almost immediately, so. Still haven't figured out who made it, though. I would show it to you guys, but like I said, I don't want to lose it. Let me make sure I have one copy safe. Oh, right. Well, this was in an era when, you know, map arts were in like the older version of Minecraft, so first off, map arts used to hardly ever have people's names on them. They're always named something either very basic or something really weird. Very rarely did you find one that said, you know, such and such made by so and so. Secondly, it was an era where map arts were kind of temporary. You had to build them out in some super mega secret place, and as soon as somebody found them, they would be completely wrecked. Because any changes made to the map itself, where the location was, where the map art was, all of the other maps would get changed the same way. You couldn't lock it in place. So a map art only stayed good for as long as that area remained protected. So as soon as that area got found and people started nuking it, it was gone. Additionally, there was a thing called a map reset. And the map reset would change all of the map art IDs. So all of the map arts would either reset or change to like other map arts on the list. It's I don't know exactly how it works, but I remember that for a while people would have to go over and reset their own map arts and redistribute them after a map art reset. Now that we have cartography tables, we can lock the map arts in place, and they are what they are forever. So in a way, I think that finding that map art might be a good thing, especially because if nobody else has it, then it might not be locked. Gotta be Brathen. Don't know for sure. Brathen is the one that always brands things cat flushed. I have not heard of Brathen. Additionally, there's nothing on there that explicitly says it's a canal map art. It obviously looks like one because of the flat wall on one side and like the little pillar going up and stuff. There's nothing on there that like says canal such and such, but I don't know. I think it's a pretty safe bet. Oh. I don't think I've ever heard of him. If he was at GT5, I'm sure I ran into him. I've been to every GT. I haven't built at every GT. No, I take that back. I'm pretty sure I wasn't at 15 because 15 was only up for like a weekend or something. It was a spontaneous thing and then it vanished. Brathen, I'll remember that. I don't think that the other map arts that I've seen, this other canal map arts, usually all of the older ones, because there are some really cool older ones that were made like, you know, a long time ago before there was like, you know, baritone. There we go. 76F, Lost Dynasty. Somebody said that every single Lost Dynasty map or sign over here was fake, so I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I will supplement the cookie drop with some cooked cod. Who's the cooked cod from? Good question. This cooked cod is, I think, from the Zoxter. Thank you, Zoxter, for the cooked cod. Wow, somebody's going to get hooked up with some rockets and totems. Very cool of you. Uh-oh. Is this a new friend? TKO Tom X1. If they're like a new friend that just rolled up over here, they're probably going to be like, what the fuck is going on? A Rusher hat cape? That's kind of cool. It's TKO Tom. Hi, TKO Tom. I always wonder about that when you get like a group of people together. They just roll up on like, there's like 20 people just sitting around. Hey, it's Dark Wolf. What's up, Dark Wolf? He's there when we took all those screenshots, map art after the grief. There were a lot of people there. And, dude, I have this bad habit of being the last person to show up to, like, group shots. So, like, we're at a group build somewhere. And we're like, oh, let's get together for a screenshot. I'm, like, millions of blocks away, like, wait! So everybody takes 100,000 shots, and everybody's about to leave after they take all their screenshots. And I'm like, wait, hold on. So I was like, all right, roster's here. Let's just do one more for stupid roster just showing up. I show up at the last second. I squeeze into the side of the screenshot, and then I'm gone again. You know, speaking of that map art, Beardo, do we have a sealed version? Sealed, that's the term, right? Of the name of the GT5 map art. I have some. I have it hanging. I had it hanging in one of my shacks, but it got wrecked. I'd like to get my hands on another copy of that. Locked. That's the one. Thank you, Sealed. I can't piece together the right words for it. Sealed. That's the one. Locked. Trapped in netherite blocks. Oh. Yeah, imagine that, like, good guy, bad guy moment. Bed trap somebody, but they're bed trapped in netherite blocks. That's like a chaotic good alignment. Here's all the netherite that you're going to ever need, but you're trapped in it. Some monkey paw logic. Come on. Let me add some illumination for the new friends. Used to all be drowning in frog lights. The frog light kingdom got wrecked. A shame, to be certain. See, Mr. Roster, why are you putting them all crooked and asymmetrical? Good question. It looks janky, doesn't it? But that is the point. You need a book, like a signed book or an empty book? There's a purpose. There's a method to my madness. If people see them all crooked and janky like this, they are much more likely to... Oh, ink sacs, book and quill. I think I have one book and quill somewhere. Oh, wait, ink sacs. I've got ink sacs. Ah, no, run away. I don't have my fireworks equipped. I'm just gonna fucking kill myself over here, don't mind me. Ah. After I said such nice things about your little muffin stand. Cruel and unusual. This is an auto-eat problem that I've had. I gotta get somebody that has better configs than I do. But it gets locked on the carrots. Like, if you're whatever food you're using, it gets locked on, and like you can't like adjust it. It stays stuck on that one thing. I'm trying to. So it gets stuck on the food that you're eating and not like the... Not the, you can't move over to gabble. It stays stuck on that one spot. What's this map art? Zispanos. I know those guys. I actually shared a small base with them a while ago. I was on my last totem, too. I'm getting all disoriented here. Oh, there we go. Okay. I've been on 2B2T for 2.5 years. I joined August 2022. So about 2.5 years. And I still haven't gotten any better, as it turns out. Yeah. No, I got locked in on the thing. That's part of the problem. Is that my auto eat got locked in place. Resupply totems. Oh, come on. You don't want to live dangerously? Okay, Cux. I'll re-up on totems. Just for you, though. Some of the PvPers, they're just shy, and that's just how they greet people. The PvPers change over time, though. And thanks for that first time chat, by the way. Vanessa Hayes. Now, if I had those keyboard macros that I was talking about before on my controller, it'd be a different story altogether. Somebody mentioned in private that Mr. Loco's actually not my #1 streak person. but it's one of the people that's been trying to kill me every stream. They've got some kind of streak going on. Not necessarily. 6B is, well, I mean, any of the number B, number T places, I mean, they're all like kind of okay. Most of them are kind of a little more on the silly side, just to be honest. But yeah, like Beardo says, go to Constantium if you're going to go to a different one. Constantium, he has a pretty good crowd. 5B is like a duped gear nightmare, although I did make a small portion of Canal on 5B. Working on anything? No. What I do normally on these streams is I go along the Southern Canal and I put food out for new players, but because everybody knows where I am, and even if I try to like hide my coordinates, like I'll pass by a big sign that says 20K up in the sky. So all that a unfriendly player would have to do is just roll up to where I am and murder me, because I'm not very good at PvP, clearly. But thankfully, I was just at the end of my little run here, or towards the very end of my run. Are you kidding me? Is that legitimately just a passerby? Yeah, so I'm not good at PvP, so it's pretty touch and go with these fights along the canal. But I put enough food out there for people to get by. I got pretty close to 0-0. Well, I appreciate it. That is why I do it. This is... You can't really see much of it with the water grief here, but this is actually one of the first and only non-canal spots. That I've built at. This road that I'm on, which I'm not going to say, is probably the least traveled of all of the roads near spawn. So I was able to keep a spot over here for quite a while. Matter of fact, you can still see the outline of the booth over here, even though I haven't been to this place in probably... I don't know, probably about 2 years. Maybe a little longer. Go a little further. See if I have any more. I put some booths out on the one of the other highways, and the problem is I didn't have shulker boxes back then. And as much as I wanted to inundate all of these spots with all of these random goodies and food for new players and everything, I realized really soon that it was not a sustainable practice. Because, like, I would find out really quick that there was just, there was no way I could keep up with it. So I would go and fix, 30 booths on the Southern Canal. Oh, that made me jump. Goodness, that is so loud. Excellent jump scare. And it got to be too much to maintain. You know, every week it's like, you know, I've already got to do 30 on the canal, and now I've got another dozen on the South Highway and another 10 on the East Highway, and then like another 10 over here. I had some built at like random rest stops, and I had half a dozen on the Friendly Highway. It just got to be too much. We love Pedro around here, don't get me wrong. Pedro is one of our favorites. Very popular amongst the youth. Our core audience, of course. I'm building another one over here. I probably won't come back to refill it, but I'll let other people do it. This will be a Jeopardy question in a couple years. And I appreciate that first time chat, by the way, NASA. Thank you for coming out. All of the canon dimensions to the place. There's a lot of map arts though, so. This whole area brings me way back. I haven't been over here for years. I don't travel a whole lot. Like I'm on that plus Z, and that is it, man. You know. Mr. Loco was giving me shit about it. I always act so amazed when people find me, even though I just travel literally in a straight line all the time. Oh my god, how'd you track me down? Some kind of miracle. Whoever finds this spot is going to be in fish heaven, let me tell you. Motherfucker! Whopper people. The worst promise that I ever made. I said, you guys like the Whopper thing so much, even though I hate it, I'll keep it on the channel. I'll always have an option for it. So I tried changing. I am not. I tried changing the name to like downloading a virus, or press this button if you like, you know, what was it? If you're like a terrorist or something. I forget what I wrote. Huh. Thank you for that cheer. I wonder if I get a copyright strike for that tiny little clip of their commissar. I keep wanting to say Vanessa, but it says Vanessa, so I'm going with Vanessa. Appreciate that, Vanessa. New canal. There was a player that was new to 2B, well, at least at the time when we had this discussion, and they said, let's make a canal in every direction. Vanessa, yes. Okay. Vanessa, yes. Alright. Works for me. I'll just call you Big V. No. I try to do it seamlessly, but I'm terrible at reading the names. Anyways. That was one of the things. They were like, let's make a canal in every direction. I'm like, why on earth would we do that? You know? Roads are way easier to travel than canals. And like, the whole purpose and like whatever behind the Southern Canal is that it's, you know, it's a canal instead of a road. It's like, you know, in its base form, it's almost a novelty. Why would you make a canal in every single direction? Yet, here I am on a canal. Is that one of mine? Nah, maybe. For any of them, it's old. Old as hell. Why wouldn't they let you have an A? That's ridiculous. Twitch is the worst. I know the owner and original CEO of Twitch. I have him on speed dial. His name is William H. Twitcherton. Really nice guy. Just such a sweetheart. He was the guy that advocated for the hot tub chat. William, Mr. Twitcherton's kind of a perv, but, you know, he means well. He really does. Anyways, he sold out to some big multinational conglomerate, and it's just been a headache since then. I could talk to William, though, see if we can't get that straightened out. I've only got him on the landline, though. And clearly I can't use the landline because I will disconnect my dial-up. You escape spawn, yeah, okay. I can't imagine how long this goes. Are we in Melon Man territory here? Is that what's going on? The old Melon Canal. Yeah, William Twitcherton. I call him Billy T for short. We were in a softball league together for a while. It's a terrible third baseman. I mean, he had like an okay bat, but I mean, stick him in the outfield, right? I think that he bought the jerseys for the team. He funded like a lot of the travel, so he definitely bought his way onto third base. No question about it. I got your back, Vanessa. As soon as the stream's done, I'm going to give him a call. I'll be like, Billy T, what you got for me? He's like, I'm not giving you shit. Rosta, I heard what you said about my third base playing abilities. And I'm like, well, I mean, you average like 1.5 errors a game, okay? Even in a softball league, that's egregious. I think I'm bringing up some pretty valid points here. And he'll get all huffy about it, and, you know. I'll have my wife talk to his wife, you know, and they'll organize some kind of gathering and go over there with our kids, try to smooth things over. And I'll be out on the porch, you know, with like some scotch or something. And I'll be like, listen, man, it's not really about number of errors, you know. You got a good bat, and you know, you stick things out pretty good, you know, you're a team player. Try to smooth things over. I'm not going to outright say that he's good. He's garbage. Man, if you've ever seen Billy T play third base, it's a nightmare. So I won't outright say that, he's good. He's not. It's garbage. But, I'll say the right things to kind of smooth things over. And I'll be like, so you talk to those guys over at Twitch anymore? And he'll be like, oh, is this why you came over here? No, it has nothing to do with it. But, just casual conversation. I've got somebody on Twitch. They said that you wouldn't give him an A. So they had to throw in an HA. They're like, oh, that's ridiculous. I've never heard of such a thing. Apparently that's how he talks. So, oh, I've never heard of such a thing. Oh, preposterous. Oh. I'll be like, Billy, you got to help me out here. Just give the kid an A. Come on. Just give him an A. They're not asking for much. Borrow one from the Fonz. He's got a bunch, right? Show one of your favorite things, places on the server if possible. It's a great idea in theory, Vanessa, but the problem is that if I truly loved something on the server, there's no way I would show it on the canal or on the stream. If I really liked something and I showed it on the stream, I'd be putting it in jeopardy. I do have a favorite place, and it's not on the canal. It is, it's a place that I won't stream because I don't want other people to find it. I know that a few of you have been there, and I would share chords with you on Discord, but I'm not gonna go there. It's called the Friendly Highway. The first month that I was playing 2B, my prio was running out. I had been going back and forth and putting food on the canal, and like all the obsidian that I used to make the booths, I would roll up to places like this that had random floating obsidian all around here. Not like the structures, but like these random little chunks and blobs of obsidian over here. I would take those and I'd mine all of them down. Oh my goodness, will you please fuck off, sir? And I would collect all that obsidian, and that's the obsidian that I would use to like make the booths. So all the booths that you see over there are all made with obsidian that I gathered from loose structures somewhere along the lines, and that I'd have to bring all of the food, the little cookie collections and stuff. I'd have to do it all without shulker boxes. So, anyways, I'm getting distracted again. So, it was getting close to the end of the month of prio that I bought, right? I've been filling up all these booths and, spending like 10 hours every day on the server like crazy. And I got kind of burnt out. And I was like, I don't think there's really anything else over here for me. I built a little base. I'd given out food. It's not like there was like this whole line of signs and all this other crap. And usually people didn't even notice. People just go over and steal the food and go about their business. I will. Is it hidden, Burgess? Super secret? I will. Just give me a minute. I don't have it up. If I had it up right now, then it would mess up my my 28 baud modem. I had the 14.4K for a while, but I upgraded for the stream, so we're at 28 now. I want to get my hands on the 56K. If I get my hands on the 56K dial-up, we'll be cooking. So, winding down, just about done with Prio. So I decided to do one last project, and I create an area where I create a path where you can walk without having to jump. I put slabs in front of every major thing and like mowed down walkway or mowed down mountains and stuff to where you could get all the way across without having to jump. Because in 1.12, the hunger bar and the health bar were much more prohibitive, right? There's a different hunger system. They didn't have health regeneration. You could starve a lot easier, is kind of like the easy way of putting it. So I kept following it, and it led to another highway that people had already kind of built out in the middle of nowhere. So I was like, I'll just follow this highway until Prio runs out and see what happens. And that was how I found the Friendly Highway. And the Friendly Highway is this big long highway that has nothing but signs along the side of just endless positivity. People, you know, giving stuff out to people, leaving things for people, random boards that just say like, who's your favorite Pokemon? You know, people would put signs up there and stuff. People telling, you know, brief stories about their time on the server and the stuff that they found and the friends that they made. And I saw a few signs that were really sad signs about people talking about like how they're not sure about what they want to do with their career, or they feel like they're lost in life. And then there's like a dozen signs right afterwards of, you know, nameless anonymous people, you know, telling the person not to give up and telling them, you know, to go out there and do this and that, you know, and stand up for yourself, you know, go out and try to find what you really want to do in life. And it was just really cool to see that, like, there wasn't a single, like, I mean, maybe a couple. Honest to God, I don't remember a single sign that said anything other than like the most positive and, you know, polite and decent things. So that was very cool. And I followed it on foot. I don't even think I had an elytra at the time. I followed it on foot for 100 to 100K. And it was, I found a furnace that had a bunch of diamond blocks in it. And that furnace belonged to a player named Ninja Walrus. The first time that I ran into Ninja Walrus, I posted on his YouTube page. I was like, oh my god, thanks for the diamond blocks, dude. You know, it's funny because, you know, me and him are just kind of pals now, but like at the time, I thought it was like the cool... Oh, come on. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world that somebody would just randomly leave diamond blocks around. Somebody doesn't know how to make a canal. It doesn't freeze over. It's just sloppy work. Now, I don't know who made this, but this goes on way longer than I thought it would. It's like a full-on freaking canal. Oh, baby. Ah, it's all wrecked. Honey Block Highway for the win. Who made the Honey Block Highway? It's kind of rad. Well, I appreciate it, Vanessa. I'm not a huge Twitch person myself, and I didn't use it at all until I started getting some to-be colleagues that also did streams on Twitch, and I go over there and I watch them as well. I appreciate it. Believe me when I tell you. And if I manage to convince Billy to let the A thing slide, then it'll be snail mail that you get. So he doesn't use email. These all Cody Smile? The Honeycomb Highway goes on for a while, apparently. I'm going to go build at least one more booth over on the main highway. The Friendly Highway had signs placed every like 150, 200 blocks that would have a different line from like a really long poem. So you'd be walking down it and, you know, it'd have the line from a poem, and then like, you know, however long, 30 seconds or a minute later, walking those 100 or 200 blocks, there'd be the next line. It was like a very chill experience, you know. You kind of unplug and see the weird, like, forgotten part of the server that hasn't been touched in, like, God knows how long. There'd be quotes from quotes and like chapter passages from The Hobbit and stuff like that. Ugh. That was what it was that convinced me to stay on the server at the very beginning, when I would have just let the prio run out and be done with it. I make a pilgrimage back there once every few months. I'd say once every 6 months, give or take. Or if I'm getting fed up or frustrated, something on the server is annoying me and I just need a little palate cleanser, I'll go back over to the Friendly Highway. If you guys have ever seen that really sad story written out in signs from a person who lived in a war-torn nation and had to log out for the last time, and wrote like a big long goodbye to all of the different people because he didn't know what was going to happen to his like small town during the upcoming war or conflict or whatever, that is on the Friendly Highway as well. And obviously it's surrounded by a bunch of signs of support and stuff, but the dude hasn't been online seemingly in like 5 or 6 years, so rip, I guess. Super depressing. Hey, it's the Hankster. Rocket Man Hank, what's up, man? You out scaring the fish, showing them who's boss. Cranking out rockets, most likely. Hey, look, it's a friend. Are they AFK? Nope. They're at a little base. I'm going to leave them alone. I'm sure they don't want some random person getting all in their business. 15 million, holy crap. I gotta get with you at some point, Hankster, and collect some of your rockets, or you gotta get over to where I'm at, pearl some over, and come hand them out with me on stream. There's a good chance you'll probably die in the process, but it's all part of the fun. There we go. The word on the street is that might be getting grief. Start moving your accounts elsewhere. Oh, yes. Yes, I have heard this. For better to play it safe. I don't necessarily think you're going to get griefed. I have reason to believe that it is not. How could this road be so terrible so soon? Oh, there we go. Okay. I was gonna say. Overworld infrastructure is garbage. Unless you're on the canal, then it's fantastic. I have been out here one single time. You can tell that this is an old road here. The way it goes up over mountains instead of like, having like a flat trail that just busts through all the terrain. I'm not going to tear anything down over here. History was lost here. Yes, I believe it was. Not right here. Very close to here, though. Look at this road. Jeez. Why has nobody created an overworld highway group? I know the nether highways are more important, but this is just... yeesh. Spend some time on creative and learning Lightmatica and build your own... yeah? Using world edit, that's usually the way to do it. I don't use creative or world edit on the farms that I build, but my farms are also not very good. So I guess that's the trade-off. You want handmade farms that are kind of garbage? I'm your man. I Efficiency is always at the bottom of my list, though, when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'd much rather it look like cool and nice as opposed to like being optimal, have optimal function. Like the tree farms that I use always work off of like water streams as opposed to like, oh my goodness. Okay, we're already down to like slabs and like trail blocks, or what are they called? Okay, it's a little better. Oh, from a schematic, right. If you have Lightmatica up and you have a running version of Baritone, it pretty much is automatic. I mean, optionally, if you don't want to use Baritone, you can always just create it in Lightmatica, or create the schematic, or load the schematic in Lightmatica, and then just build it block for block, because if you do an overlay, that's not my cookie shop. By the way, never scan a QR code that you find on 2B. Like, I think that should be self-explanatory, but in case it's not, I'm going to reiterate it. Unless you know where it's coming from, just do not do it. Some ancient builds over here. Funny, if you don't have the coordinates from like Wiki or something, 99% of the player base wouldn't even be able to recognize the valley. When I first joined, there was part of the valley still around. Not a ton. But enough of it around here and there. It had already been griefed pretty badly, but there was enough around to where there was still like corners of the original field and stuff. So I was able to gather some of the wheat over there. I made a loaf of bread from 3 pieces of wheat that I gathered over there. I still have that in my e-chest to this day. Classic stuff. Yeesh. Not pretty. Co-opted by the Melon Men, I assume. This is how most of the builds used to look back in 1.12. People would build with basically just like stone and cobble and stone brick and oak logs. This bridge is pretty tight. Random people. I do not know these people. It's like a yin-yang at one point. There's really no coming back. It's pretty messed up, right? Gotta respect the effort that people put forth, though. All of those numerous different times, all the numerous different rebuilds and what have you. Admirable. Right here. That way I don't have to mess up too much of this. Too much of this walkway. I try to leave as small of a footprint as I possibly can. Come on. Anybody that looks at the wiki and comes out to this area and they're like, wait a minute, where's all the stuff? Oh. Went too far back. That's okay. I have to reset my mouse driver, I think. Well, I apologize if I brought any unwanted attention to the trading post. I didn't hang out there today, though. I just cruised by, filled up my stand, did my business, and F'd right off down the canal. Making Kush's life difficult. when you're playing on the really super old server, one of the things that I constantly think about is the fact that when you're breaking a dirt block, if you're close enough to spawn, there's a good chance that you're breaking a dirt block that has been there in that spot since the world was created, like 12 years ago, something like that. That one dirt block, that one grass block that you just broke's just been sitting there 24/7 for 10 years, 12 years, something like that. Wild. If you've been playing on the server for a while, you're starting to get jaded. I think I've mentioned this a couple times. Go find some spot you've never been to before that's kind of close to spawn. Look through some of like the wreckage and find like a small little area to call your own and make a little base out of the wreckage that you find over there. Turn off Fulbright. Start making like tiny little farms here and there. No map art. And then, you know, actually play a little Minecraft, but do it like in an area where there's still ruins and stuff. Mr. Zebra, thank you for coming out. Bork Nugget. Some Bork Nugget. Love it. I'm glad you've joined me, but man, I am on my way out. I got attacked, but managed to fumble my way through like the sorriest escape you've ever seen. I'll clip it and put it on YouTube, and I will say this is a good example of how to not escape from a PvPer. You'd think I'd be a pro at escaping now, at this point. As it turns out, not so much. You do you, homie. Oh. This is a suckfest. So what's better? The rundown, beat up, but kind of authentic looking highways like this one where you can never tell where it is, and it's made of like a mishmash of blocks and it's clogged in places and stuff. Or like the super ultra highway that's perfectly straight and perfectly uniform. Personally, I like a mix of both. I think it's good to have these ragtag highways that are just like, you know, random blocks hucked together, like some person that was escaping got to the end and there wasn't anything else built over there, and they're like, ah shit, well I guess I might as well build some more stuff over here. And you could tell that they just continued the highway from there with whatever blocks were in their inventory. I think that's really cool. But at the same time, I think it's also good to have fully formed, well manicured highways in other places, or, you know, waterways. Look at this friggin' place. Somebody built like a flippin' monolith over here. Ninja Walrus banner. The remains of a taco truck, maybe? Joopy was here. Rip food truck. Y'all who grief. All y'all who grief, you're losers. New players can't see cool stuff. Oh, I think that's you're losers, you are losers. Just a pretty cool area altogether. Train tracks are always the worst idea. I like the idea in theory, but all it takes is like 2 tracks missing and the whole thing's done. Huh. Deck ROM. Deck ROM with the 23, holy crap. We've been raided. How you doing, Deck ROM? You guys make sure to give Deck ROM a follow if you're over here. We love Pedro over here. What were you up to tonight, Decrom? Causing trouble? Building over near spawn. Guess you're coming in late. You missed all the fun. Anyone new that's coming in? What's up, guys? I'm Godroster. I do streams on TBTT on the Southern Canal. And if you drop me a follow, it would be great. I would appreciate it. I'll go out of my way to try to entertain you. Prisoner, yeah. We're not on the Southern Canal right now, no. We got sidetracked. I just about finished. I think I was at like 2K. For Pedro, I think there is. I haven't figured it out. I switched to a new OS and we did a trial run of all of the different sound effects and stuff, and I think Pedro was the only one that had like the weird double audio thing. I don't know, I haven't managed to puzzle it out, but I will troubleshoot when I get a chance. Yep, we normally hand out food over near spawn along the canal, and we hello there. Usually get attacked in the process. General Kenobi. But I mean, that's nothing new. I've been streaming that same part of the same canal for, God, I think it's been like 2 years. Too long. Too long, needless to say. And the names change, but there's always people out there griefing and attacking PvP stuff. I'd love to say that I've gotten better at PvP, but I honest to God think I've gotten worse. I didn't think it was possible. Burgess, you're killing me, man. I'm assuming that this is important. Assuming it is. Yes, that's right. I remember. Yeah, we're doing good, Decrum. I was watching My man Beardo the other night, I heard about your base self grief. That's pretty awesome. That's one of the fun things that you can do when there's a test server up. Is find one of your older bases or stashes, or one of the ones that you have now, and just show up and completely wreck it. Then send screenshots to your base mates and be like, "Oh my god, base got griefed! Holy crap!" That's something that actually happened with spawn sentries. My pal Jop did a world download of a stash and then griefed the world download and sent a video of him griefing the stash. Dude, everybody was like so pissed that, like, even though it was meant as a joke, it's like it was not taken as a joke, man. There was no sense of humor to be found that day. I don't know. I thought it was funny, but he definitely lost a few friends with that one. Enjoy this BBC. Of course, talking about the British broadcast channel. I'm not sure it stands for anything else, although I've been wrong in the past. Yeah, so we started on the canal, but now we just passed the valley. Or I mean, like, the 3 blocks that remain of what once was the valley a very long time ago. Thanks, Sleeping Games. Appreciate you coming out. Leaping Games, I don't suppose you had anything to do with this bonus canal that we've been traveling down. It's funny, earlier on I was talking about somebody mentioning making canals in all directions. And that was actually Leaping Games, who's on YouTube right now. Speak of the devil. Somebody I haven't spoken to in months. Coincidence, I guess. How to get involved with the Southern Canal? Good question. I started doing the cookie booths because when I escaped for the second time, it was the canal that I escaped on. I say second time because the first time I died, starved to death on the canal. Or no, not on the canal. I starved to death somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm like, people are escaping spawn and they're dying on the way because they can't find food. Now, this was when food was a lot harder to find. Nowadays, you can punch a fish in the water and you'll have food, you know. In 1.12, you didn't really have that option. The best chance you had for food is probably rotten flesh or melons if you were lucky. So, it was the canal I started putting food out at, and I got a sign left at one of the booths from a guy named Ninja Sir, who was just here a little bit ago. Ninja Sir said, "Hey, I don't know who's building these weird little booths, but you should join this group, the Southern Canal Association." At this point, I'm in no groups, you know. I've been playing for maybe a month. So I was like, okay, I'll join the group. And I joined the group. I go out and I start working on the canal. The canal at this point was at like 350K, I think. So I didn't have hack clients or anything. I just hit auto walk on the not even like the hack client thing, but like what do you call it, keybind, key lock kind of thing, just to hold the W button and just auto walk down the Nether highway. I almost got killed like half a dozen times. I went out there and I did some honest to goodness canal work, and I decided I would start building some little rest stops along the way. They were refill stations for people to get more gear. Other canal workers could go over there, and I'd leave a box that had like a bunch of diamond picks, and of course I would go and mine the diamonds and the lapis and go put them over there, and I would like build an enchantment table, like craft an enchantment table in vanilla, leave it over there so people could get the picks and hopefully try to use the enchanting table. It was really ghetto. There's no reason for me to have not had clients at that point. I just didn't have them. But I made the little refill stations look cool. I took a little bit of time and effort to like make them look fancy, so when you went to go to get a refill, it was like a cool place to hang at. The EA. So that was like my little thing. I'd make the little refill stations for people to get, you know, food and supplies. They were like, you know, little houses. I'd make them look all colorful and kind of have unique designs and stuff. And then about a month or two into me being with the SCA, there was a FitMC video that came out about the Southern Canal. And even though I'd only been there for like, you know, a month and a half or 2 months, it was like all of the places that I built that he ended up stopping at. It was like some kind of bizarre, you know, 1 in a billion odds that it happened the way that it did. But then I had only been doing canal work for a little bit, and you know, I'd gotten mentioned a lot more on the video than other people that had been doing more canal work than me. So the truth is that I felt, at that point, I felt like an obligation of sorts to put more time and effort into the canal, since, you know, I was mentioned in the video, and people now, I've only been playing for a month or two, but when people hear the Southern Canal, I'm one of the first names that new players think of. So I dedicated myself to extending and protecting the canal. And it was October 2022 when I made a promise. I was like, I'm not going to stop playing 2B, and I'm not going to stop working on the canal. I'm going to be doing something, whether it's even just organizing stuff on Discord or whatever, basically every day until it happens. I'm not going to leave, and until we get to 1 million was the number. So I'm still here. There aren't many members of the SCA that are still in Canal Group. I'm not going to get into that SCA thing. It sucked. I met a lot of cool people, and the SCA was a fun group and stuff, but it didn't end well. It ended poorly. So the newer canal group, Waterway Union, is I was talking to Thebes in Sound about canal defenses, kind of picking his brain about it. And, you know, stream doesn't go by where I don't mention that Thebes is a genius, because it's true. He is, dude knows more. Dude has forgotten more about redstone and mechanics than I'll ever know. So I started working with Thebes. The SCA started to crumble, and I'm like, well, I guess we need to make a new SCA. We made a new SCA. We had a vote for what we wanted to call it, and the winning vote was the Waterway Union. So here we are with the Waterway Union, doing our thing. Zarkly, appreciate you coming in, man. You always got to make some room when Dekrom or one of the other big players shows up with a raid. I love to see it, guys. So what am I going to do after the canal gets to 1 million? I don't know. to be honest, I'll probably just keep working on it. The group that I'm in is like just the best group of people you could find. Just like hey, this is cool. Very cool, very reasonable, you know, patient people that all work very good together. There's like no strife and there's no animosity. So I couldn't be happier. I'm like, you know, one of the lead. I'd say me and Thebes are equal parts leaders of the group, but like, man, there are definitely people that do so much in that group, whether it's, you know, putting in a ton of work or doing coding for different tools and add-ons and stuff. Well, I stream twice a week on the Southern Canal. I usually ramble about old people stuff because of the whole being old. Except, you know, Noxious says I'm not old. Noxious says that I look like I'm in my 20s, so I'm gonna stick with that. We have some streamers in here too. Beardo was here earlier. He's an awesome streamer. I'm sure I'm forgetting some people. But, and I mention this just about every time I stream too, the 2B streaming community is one of the best streaming communities that you'll find, period. It's funny because it's such like a toxic server with a bunch of jerks and, you know, racists and bigots and, you know, edgelord children and stuff. But the people that stream it, I think without exception, the people that do streaming stuff are all like on the same team. You know, there's no weird like animosity or fighting for views or followers or any other crap. Everybody is just cool with everybody and everybody promotes everybody. It's a very cool thing. Everybody tries to throw a raid at the end of the stream, even though I forget a lot. When I first started off, the first followers that I got were from a random blind raid before I even knew what a raid was, from a streamer named Paul Steve. And I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't even know what a raid was. It said so-and-so is raiding, and I'm like, oh my god. Guys, what do I do? Is this a bad thing? Thankfully, my daughter was over there. She's like, no, that's a good thing. Such an idiot. Well, thanks, Arkley. Appreciate you, man. Paul, Decrom, Beardo, Captain. Oh, Cap, yeah. Took was here earlier, too. Yep. Corin Campbell is a quality 2B streamer. Hibiscus. Oh, Yamez. Yamez does very chill, like, base hunting type streams. But he, 420 friendly, I guess is a good way of putting it. He's a real nice guy, too, Yamez is. Seth Quest. He's a newer streamer. He streams vanilla. So it's always kind of a bit of an adventure watching a Seth Quest stream. Keskin is Loot Lord. He streams on YouTube. We should make a streamer Discord. I know that there's like a content creator Discord, but it's kind of dead. We should make a 2B streamer Discord, unless there's already a 2B streamer Discord and I'm just not invited. That's also a very real possibility. They're like, oh no, Mr. Roster, we don't have the secret Discord that you're not invited to. You're crazy, man. I've never heard of such a thing. They go over to the secret 2B2T streamer Discord. They're like, shit, he found out. We're gonna have to move. Oof, what is going on with the lag? What a weird milestone. It is kind of weird, isn't it? Congratulations, you made it to this number that I'm not going to repeat. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting your name and you do streaming stuff. Not my intention. I'm on the spot, so I'm trying to think of whoever I can. Those are the only things that are coming to mind. Loot Lords is a streamer Discord. Burgess might. Ah, he found me! He's gonna kill me! No, Noxious is cool. Pretty fancy stuff, man. I actually left my straight line. You still managed to track me down. Noxious, did you get killed in the... Did you get killed in the crossfire there? No? Good. Nicely done. I hope Ninja Sir didn't get killed. New spawn operators appreciate what you do for a new player based on a canal, buddy, for sure. Appreciate it, Leaping Games. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, I almost died. It was pretty bad. I tried to escape, and I was so bad about it. Keskin's your homie. Seth's a mod for Paul. Maybe. I don't know. I hardly ever watch Paul Steve anymore. He streamed for a while, but he doesn't stream on Twitch anymore. So I guess I gotta track him down and I get those notifications back on. Shit kit. You know, I don't... Nah, I think I'm good. I've got almost a stack of rockets. I got more in the... Do you have some right here? Because if you have some right here, I'll just grab some. Here, I'll grab a half a stack. Thank you. Maybe that's what I'll do then. Maybe I'll make a 2B2T Twitch streamer Discord. Kick. I'm on Kick too, as it turns out. I don't know if you guys watch Kick. I don't have the Kick chat pulled up, but I haven't put any time or effort into like creating the Kick channel. I just had the multi-streamer thing, and I created a Kick account because I was covering my bases. I didn't want someone to snipe my name, right? So, like, I don't have, like, a profile picture. I don't have, like, any avatar stuff set up. I don't have a banner. I don't have anything. There probably isn't even a title. It probably just says, so-and-so stream with 0 followers. I've heard a lot of different things about Kick. Like I said, some people say that Kick is, like, this amazing new platform, and then some people say, like, if you stream on Kick, apparently you're like a bigot or like a racist or something. I don't know. It's strange. Title still says first live stream, huh? I think this is my 3rd or 4th. I put a profile picture on there though. All right, see, I'm prepared for this. I'm on YouTube too. That's why we gotta listen to this royalty-free music. Streaming's hard. I mean, when you first start off, streaming's hard. That's why when I see people starting on 2B doing streaming stuff, I always go out of my way to do what I can to help them out, you know. I don't have some kind of massive following or anything, but, you know, the group that I have managed to cultivate over here is easily the best group of people you could ever ask for. Which is why, you know, I'll do whatever I can to try to help other people find that same, you know, corner of 2B that they can call their own. Because we all share the server. You know, we all do kind of the same stuff, and we all try to help each other out. I can't honestly think of a single streamer that I have any kind of weird animosity towards or has any kind of, like, problem with, not just me, but with like, anybody else. It's just how we do stuff. It's kind of rad. You got me thinking about it. Maybe I will do that. I'm trying to think. I can't think of any other streamers off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm forgetting, like, you know, all sorts of people. Bork Nugget. Welcome back. Easily top five Twitch names that I've seen. Maybe top 3. Bork Nugget. I think streamers who come wrong get gone real quick, especially if Imp gets them open. They say the wrong thing. Yeah. Imp just show up and murder me on stream. That's the relationship I have with them. I go out, I do my stream, Imp shows up. They either try to murder me or succeed in murdering me, and then I go, "Ah, you rascals." And then I start back up somewhere else and keep dropping off food for new players. Noxious was with me, I think, that night where I went out like 60 or 70k, something crazy like that. I made a whole bunch of new booths and stuff, and go west, poop from BB. Great, good stuff, guys. YouTube one is Upsalifion. I wish I could open that pack. I'd be rich. At least with that new prismatic stuff I see people using. Noxious getting their name up on the screen. Look at the Noxious Eternal name tag screen here. Now that you mention that, do you guys know if anybody else is streaming? Someone I can raid. Barges, I'll send you a message after the stream. Oh, we've got to eat food, as it turns out. Minecraft Java name is Omnipotent Carrot. I like it. Figured I'd check. I'm gonna have to actually use the controllers and play the game. This is bullshit. Check out this block writing here. What's it say? Dedicated. Is that their name? Or just a description of the kind of person they are? There is hella cobblestone builds down here. Thrive on chaos. You're in the right place then, my friend. These are probably old as hell too. I don't know enough about server history to be able to tell you, like, you know, this was actually made by a 2014 group called the Chunk Nuggets. Chunk Nuggets were actually led by a user named P Poopsicle. There we go. Re-rolling. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm showing my age here again, but there was a point in time where people had like a gaming handle, and it was like their, you know, alter ego. You know, it was like their name, their username. They'd get it across different platforms and stuff. But then, like, sometime in, I'd say, the late 2000s, early 2010s, I started noticing this a lot on the PlayStation, but also on, like, websites like Reddit and stuff. People stopped using alter ego, like, handles, and instead just started creating whatever names, you know. Like, hey, my username is Giant Boner LOL. Like, you know, sure, that's funny, but, like, at one point in time, you know, people actually had, you know, usernames, and I wouldn't have to be like, hey, that's a great point that you just made, Anal Fisher. You know, okay. Now, Bork Nugget, that's a different story, because that's hilarious. Willie135. I'm Maddie X. Sign thanking me for them. Go back and check if you don't believe me. Oh, gave this guy diamonds at 20k. That's a sign thanking me for. Okay. There's actually food out here. That's kind of impressive. First off, I'm going to drop an E-chest. If people want diamonds, we'll give them some diamonds. One of the original villains of the Southern Canal that I ran into was a guy that I had coined the Alchemist, right? The Alchemist was this devious canal villain who blended in with all of the canal workers, and he would show up and take all of the diamonds. 1.19 end portals are on the Atlas. No kidding. Bobby, Mike, John. Hey, thanks for the first time chat. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Appreciate it, Bobby. So, I'll go check it out. The Alchemist, he would roll up to where all of the diamond beacons that I would make, and I would just leave them there, right? Because just, you know, no reason to pick them up. At this point, I had a whole shulk of diamonds, diamond blocks, and he would take all the diamond blocks, he would replace them with iron blocks, and then reset the beacon. So I would log out on a diamond beacon. I'd log back in, and it was like iron, or like iron and part gold, part emerald, but all the diamonds were gone. So I went over to the other diamond beacon that I made, and then sure enough, all those diamonds were gone too, and it was just like a mishmash of gold and iron and emeralds. A whole bunch of them going down the thing. So I'm like, there's somebody that's turning the diamond into iron and gold. The random thief that's replacing them with garbage blocks, and he was, using ancient forms of alchemy to turn one metal into another, hence the alchemist. Oh, man. I crashed, guys. Weak. I'm going to log back in real quick just to put a sign up. But in the meantime, I need to find another person that's streaming on 2B so I can crash their party. Zarkly. Thank you for coming to the stream, Zarkly. And the reason I switch over to the close-up cam is because I don't I don't actually know what stuff's gonna pop up on my desktop or anything else. So it's one of those better safe than sorry kind of situations. Besides, now it feels like I'm hanging out over at your computer or over on your phone. Get a tablet, put this stream up, sit it on the chair across from you over in the living room. We can have a little discussion. How about those income taxes, my dude? Right? Tell me about it. Damn near killed him. You feel me? Property taxes are up like 10%. The mayor just lost 5 votes, that's all I know. Adult type conversations. I missed the open window for altering my health insurance. Uh-oh. You broke everything. I hope you're happy. There, I fixed it. Look at me. I'm a genius. Where do I put the sign? I'll put it on the other side. Godroster's fresh baked diamond blocks. Map art? I don't have any map art. I've run out. Wait a minute, Noxious, your name changed colors over in chat. I have no idea what the different colors mean, by the way. Oh, no kidding. Look, Beardo's live, guys. Well, that's easy. Let's go crash Beardo, guys. They don't come much cooler than Beardo. So, while I try to piece together the right buttons to press to be able to actually pull this off, make sure that I'm doing it right. Because whenever I try to do it through OBS, it's all crappy. called Beardo Plays Games, I think. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Anyways, as per usual, guys, thank you so much for showing up. It's the highlight of my week to hang out with you guys and to do this thing with you. And I'm sincerely one of the luckiest people in the world to have you guys that actually want to, come out and watch me screw around, share all this time with me. So I'll be back in a couple days. It'll be Thursday, maybe Friday. We'll put some more food out. We'll make it happen. Drink water with ADHD. Get a water supply thing, the bite valve. Hydrate properly now. Appreciate that, man. Good advice. Anyways, we'll catch you guys later. Take care.
Zebra. Oh, pork nugget. Noxious, welcome in.